Y'all welcome. Anybody who came on early, you got a
Hi.
little bit of information about what's happening in John's life right now. You
Personal
got
stuff.
you got a little bit of awareness of the Mother Mary energy
Yes.
that's showing up. And I have been speaking a lot about grace lately.
Yeah, okay.
And I get the chills even as I say it's something ignites in me.
You said that,
Um,
and this big beam just came through my living room.
Wow. I feel it. It's like the back of my neck is just
We're
the
just like,
hairs are standing up.
I just got too fun.
Um,
Thank you. Welcome.
so y'all who have joined us as we're getting started on the call, I feel the grace that we're being blessed with at this moment and the presence of that grace. And Sandra, I know you're bringing in some strong energies and awareness. And it's just not just feeling what's in the field, but I feel the container that you be for those energies as well, an embodiment that's coming through. Um, Everybody, welcome to today's show with Sandra. Really special, and I'm so grateful um, for the particular timing in which you're showing up. Again, if y'all were on early, it's reminding me of the grace of the journey that I'm certainly experiencing, and it gives me a lot of compassion for others who may be not knowing, not seeing clearly, maybe being stuck a little bit in the chaos or not knowing how to receive the abundance of transformation that is flowing in. And Sandra, I know that you're just
Yeah.
the medicine to ease our hearts and to bring grace in. So with that, welcome to the call.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, John. It's an honor
Mhm.
and a blessing. And I'm always touched by our timing, honestly,
Mhm.
because, we select these dates months and months in advance, and all of a sudden it's here. And what
Mhm.
I'm experiencing, what you're experiencing, um, let's jump right in. So, ending one year, starting another happens all the time. This one, totally different, going from a completion year into a brand new creation year. And there was overlap for a while where you were excited about the next thing. I feel brand new. We all feel completely different, especially like I had the crystalline convergence in October, and everyone was like, I am completely transformed. Everything is different. I am brand new. I am forever changed. This really strong sensation, beautiful event. But then it comes with like such completion. And even though we've been talking about it all year and we're in this wild 3 year acceleration thing that's going on, the completion energies just over like the last month, really since the end of October, the energy shift that happened, um, the completion energies have been quite strong. And the reason, the higher etheric reason for that is the actual energy. We're talking like at the electron level, the source particle level changed. So you literally can't assemble your realities in the same way. And for a typical human, you wait until you absolutely have to change.
My timing,
And
yes.
all of us were just like, no, let it present, let it present. I'm in the flow, I'm in the flow. And all of a sudden, you know,
Mm,
things happen where it feels like you will go crazy if you do if you assemble your reality in the same way, if you do the same thing, if you
mhm,
teach the same way, share the same way, like everything feels like because because the energetic structure, the whole universe, but let alone galaxy, planetary level, here, the sun has changed. All these things happen this year. And all of a sudden, the structure is different. And even though we've had probably since 2012 an opportunity to feel the old breaking apart and all the rhetoric and the stories and the sensations that come with an old reality crumbling away from your consciousness. Like your consciousness isn't able to pull it together and experience that anymore. So you felt like all this completion, and then all of a sudden you get this drop off of like, you have maintained a level of light, a level of heart coherence, a level of connection with the I am presence, with your higher levels, Christed level, I am presence level, a source level embodiment starting to occur. And all of a sudden, you're holding a field, a more expanded, higher vibrational field that no longer can experience density in the same way. Still going to, toggle worlds for a little bit, but but you can feel that. You can feel, if you ever experience the attitude that a master will have about lower level issues or lower level problems where they almost can't see it or they don't see it from a certain perspective, right? Because there's always this higher perspective. And it's not like Pollyanna, everything is beautiful. Why are you so worried? It's not that kind of attitude. It's just they're capable of holding a higher vibration where there's so many infinite possibilities that they're like, why don't you assemble with this level of consciousness instead of trying to do what you've done for eons? You know, how many incarnations we've had here where you're using the same tools and all of a sudden the tools don't work, right? Because you're maintaining this higher field. So there's this grand invitation and this beautiful outpouring of light to say, look, please learn how to assemble your reality and how to create in this higher frequency, if you want to call it that, but as that pure embodiment. And it takes practice, and you're going to have to remind yourself. And for a while, it was that everything with ease and grace. Everything with ease and grace. Let it present, right? Little hands off. Now, coming out of, I know John's like, oh no, we're in for it. Because now, coming out of the completion, 9 year is over, right? And all of a sudden,
Mhm.
you're coming into a 1 year brand new creation, but it's different. It's different than the last time we went through this transition. And you can feel it because there are so many souls that have embodied a level of unity consciousness now, changed the Christ field, changed the dynamics, changed the trajectories for everyone. So now you're going into that with the awareness that you need to create conditions for a new experience. But there's also, that Chinese New Year fire horse energy coming in that's freedom and liberation, but it's also work, persistence, endurance. It's okay, let's go, one hoof after the other. We have to take action, right? Which is also a very Aquarian thing. It's out of the age of this kind of blissy kind of consciousness. And all of a sudden, because there's so much energy around new earth dynamics and a new way of living and higher choices, and there's so much energy and actual grounded action toward that, now that is the thing. It's not down the line, right? It's being created in this now moment. So for a lot of people, uh, you get that where it's just I cannot do what I was doing or feel what I was feeling or create in the same way. And now I need to fully embrace like this new level of creation that's embodied action. It is a lot of freedom, but there's also this transcendence in the field. And that's not transcendence up and out of this realm. I'm going to fly up into heaven. That's not what we talk about with transcendence. It's transcendence to a new level of consciousness that's so aware and consistently challenging us to say, I thought I was going to do this. And it's just all of a sudden that, if you still want to use the word timeline, all of a sudden that trajectory has no energy and
Mhm.
it's so direct sometimes. It's so direct where you're not like, give me a sign or whatever, that's not there right now. It's coming from the inside out, not from the outside in. Show me signs. Like you won't be able to get feedback from a reality that's dissolving it. It doesn't make sense, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's like the initial thing that's happening here as we come into sacred season, which technically starts on December 12th, goes for 7 weeks, all the way through the beginning of January. So, and that's like an ancient gateway, deeply encoded birth, resurrection, the sun stopping for 3 days and coming back, like all of those energies that are involved with solstice. But there's also the New Year energies where you get collective, awake or not awake, that are making resolutions, want to make a change. They feel it, right? And that's something that comes right out of Gaia. It has barely anything to do with humans celebrating the new year and trying to do new things in a different way. It's actually the gateway itself, the solstice gateway itself, that has all that rebirthing energy, that has that resurrection energy. And we just happen to celebrate a calendar year at the same time. But this 7 week window of sacred season is so lit up this year. So if there's any doubt in anyone's consciousness that they should or should not prepare, this is it, right? We're already in it. You can already feel it. You can always already feel new creations coming in. You might be guided to take some private time for solstice to really dive in. I've been having some very interesting experiences already. This is like the highest gateway for me as a gatekeeper. The energies, what I see, the beings that are showing up, the intel that's coming in, it's already starting. So, just make a commitment. Say, okay, I'm going to spend an hour outside every day, disconnected from all the external influence, and I'm going to tap into the crystalline core of Gaia, to the sun. And I'm going to hear and feel what is not just in my highest interest, but where am I really going with my ascension journey? Because that's the thing too, is there's a lot of revelation energy around this 7 week gateway. And that's revelation of what what you're creating in this now moment, what you would like to create, what's not just external revelations, because that's been on overdrive for quite a few months. So that's been happening. But there's this deep revelation of, and I feel this again, this is the connection with the I am presence that knows, at an oversoul level, what's really going on with your journey. So if you kind of step away from all the external influence, or maybe the feedback that you're getting on whether you're doing a good job with your journey or not, and just kind of quiet all of that static and quiet the static and the electrical activity of the brain, and really get quiet, drop into 0 point, and see and feel and witness whether or not you are genuinely, authentically going through transformation, coming into a transcendence level, and take inventory of how that feels and what your connection is, and it will be laid out for you. I need to make these lifestyle changes. I need to change my space. I need to change my service. I need to change my relationships. And it's not just like a laundry list, but it's because light workers can really get addicted to that. Oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, going to do that, and everything. Just bring in Cosmic Mother and let her embrace you, and she'll reveal that to you. Gaia herself will reveal truths to you during this phase, during this sacred season. But it's kind of already starting, but I feel solstice is going to be a big revelation passage for a lot of people, right? And there's no judgment if you're like, I don't feel anything, nothing, they people who just can't get offline, put their phone down, get distracted, whatever. If you're totally in addiction to a way of being, uh, give yourself pause. I know it's the holidays and people have a lot to do, right? Get it done so that you can open up some private time, you and God source, and really feel what has been created so far and what is in store for your journey. Mm.
It's beautiful. I'm getting a funny scene in my mind as you're speaking about that, and I want to go back to a couple of other things that you said that I think there's some support that you can help with clarification for the audience. But the
Okay.
first thing is I was getting about the holidays and how busy we are. I got taken to a Seinfeld episode where Jerry tells George that if he wants to do the right thing, to just do the opposite of what he normally does.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
so the invitation perhaps for the holidays, y'all, if we're so busy and
Yeah.
going, perhaps this year do the opposite.
Mm.
Do the opposite of the obligation thing or the tradition thing for the sake of tradition. It's like what's really calling
Yeah.
from the heart in that presence and to bring it back into how we obtain that presence. Can, can you share a couple of ways or a graceful way that we can drop it into 0 point? Because you mentioned dropping into 0 points and some don't have reference and we can always learn other ways to be in there in a much more proficient and loving way.
Yeah. And this is something, so I have a mastery group. It's called Presence, all focused on this connection. And everything over the last 2 years has been focused on getting to a genuine, authentic state of tapping into 0 point. A lot of it is practice and taking away what you think is 0 point, because there's some people teaching that 0 point is up here in the pineal. I'm like, oh my gosh, no. All right, so your 0 point in your consciousness is right where, can you see like where this crystal lands? High heart,
Yes.
like just above
Mhm.
the high, just above the heart center. And it's just, and you don't need to accurately find the pinpoint or whatever. What you'll find is, because of the dynamics right now that are bringing in these what we call source particles, pure electrons straight out of God's source that are encoded to support us in connecting with the I am presence, and they're at our command, and they get our attention. They have our attention all the time, but they can only do what we instruct them to do. So when you tap into high heart, just let's just go through this. Okay. So close your eyes, take a breath. And before we even drop into the heart, just quiet at a brain and thought level that is probably dominating the way you're creating your reality right now. And just quiet the thoughts, quiet the mind. Just stop all the firing and wiring for a moment. And then allow your consciousness just to kind of take the elevator down the main column to the heart area. And just allow that heart gateway just to open and bloom, pure peace, pure presence. Just breathe there. And before we try to tap into 0 point and getting it right, let's just still the narratives, the stories about the outside world, the activity of I am this because of that. I am the summation of all my journeys here. I am this because of my star background. I am all the stories about the self. Just stop. Just pause that creation just for a moment and let it go into the stillness. And you might feel your heart center just as a radiant sun, just a presence. And just letting all of the external stories go, everything that's going on in these beautiful, dense realms, and above and below. Let it go. It's all illusion anyway. Just let it go. Just stop creating. Don't try to fix anything. Don't try to be the past. Don't try to be the future. Just stop. When you kind of hit that stillness where nothing is being created, now you're just consciousness. Just kind of allow your consciousness to let the 0 point within the heart center present. And even if you can't see it or feel it, don't force it to appear in a certain way. That's not what 0 point is. If it's presenting as a star or if you're creating that, let it go and just allow 0 point to be 0 point. And in that stillness is the mind, heart of Creator. It's the only pathway, gateway for an organic ascension, for pure connection with the I am presence, which creates realities that you can play with. But go pre creation and just still everything. Feel that still point. And if it feels like a void, let it expand. Let it present. Don't create things around it. Just let it present. It'll probably expand, and all of a sudden you've got infinite possibility. But it's pre creation. So if your visions are going crazy, that's just the stimulation. Breathe, drop back into 0 point. Grace, peace, eternal freedom, eternal creation, eternal love light intelligence. That's all that exists. Now, that energy there in the stillness doesn't really feel like anything except divine purity, divine stillness, until you expand through it. And now let's open up the heart center right through 0 point. Just let light intelligence come forth. It's a harmonic, it's a frequency, it creates the light, but just let the energy expand to encompass your heart, because the heart is the way we create in the higher realms. And let's just open up the ascension column. Open up top and bottom, just open up the unified column that connects all of your expressions across the realms. And just tap into the I am presence that's overseeing all of that creation. Just let it present. Don't go up there, out there. Maintain awareness from 0 point, like God looking through, checking out everything that's being created through you, your unique particles, unique expression, unique consciousness, unique I am presence. Just witness, feel. Again, pre creation energies, not busyness, and just be the presence. Beautiful. Now let's just put the hands on the heart center. Let's just allow 0 point to create some coherence, to unify all levels, layers, dimensions, densities, expressions of self as source through source, right at the 0 point, just making that the center of the center of the center of all of your creations. And just feeling that beingness, that calmness. Beautiful. Now open your eyes. Maintain that awareness. Don't separate it. There's the whole no separation thing.
Mhm.
Don't separate that awareness from your waking awareness. Don't get distracted. Don't start thinking about things, clicking around, paying it, do this, do that. Shh. Now, the more you can hold 0 point and practice, and it's as easy as now that you know where it is and what it is, putting your hands on your chest every once in a while because it follows your focus. You are creating that connection. So the more often you can just take a breath, tap into 0 point. I am all that I am, and just kind of allow all of your fields, all of your expressions and everything to tap in to that pure connection with the I am presence and with source. The more often you do that, you're actually entraining your fields to create in a different way. But it also can be very comforting. Things happen, you feel like the lower field getting triggered or, needs to do this or busy or fix this and that's wrong, this is right. All of that stuff that comes from the experience, the flotsam of duality consciousness, can be calmed in the moment by coming back into 0 point, taking a breath. Definitely meditate on that out in nature, connect your heart with the sun. Again, not a lot of busyness, just I have my 0 point on, and now I connect with the sun and I connect with the I am presence. And I could, but you're steering everything from that center of the heart center.
Mm.
Can you feel that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It just kind of calms everything down. And what it's actually doing is it's getting your fields to self correct. Because again, the more focus you put on it, the more interaction you get, the more information is automatically sent into your DNA, into your fields. That's the way that we're supposed to be creating, right?
Mhm.
So the more that you can tap into it, the easier it gets. And then, we're learning now. We've been walking through, and a lot of the mastery classes that I'm teaching are about creating in a different way rather than this top down from God through me kind of thing. It's right from 0 point out. And
Mm.
it's interesting because it changes the magnetic of your heart center to start creating from a source informed place rather than uh, trying to pull things in, from the outside, the external. That's somewhat chaotic right now, right? Mm.
Wow, this presence point that you guided us into takes me back to the beginning of the call where again you mentioned Mother Mary and I felt grace and everything just lit up um, from my spine down. And what do you think that information is that's inspiring that, or we both felt something in the field with again with the Mother Mary energies, but I also am aware that this also relates to the solar cosmic Christ energies as well. And
Yeah.
I'd love it if you can give us a little bit of weaving of your awareness and how we can tap into those Christ energies, cosmic Christ energies.
Yeah, if you think about like the symbolic meaning and purpose of cosmic mother, besides it just being this huge plasma field that holds all the particles for creation, we're surrounded by it all the time. But when you tap into or call forth cosmic mother, you can, and especially during sacred season, where there is so much focus on the story of Mary birthing, the son, and all those stories which existed before Yeshua stepped onto the planet. But that birthing energy, that womb-like energy, that is truly kind of holding 0 point, right? Because you've got the Trinity going on around 0 point. So before, the 0 point is the pure balance of that cosmic mother and the Heavenly Father and the Paradise Son. So when you have that in the field, not just symbolically at solstice with the sun, rebirthing itself, but there's code in there and womb-like grace and uh and the plasma type consciousness that so many of us have been experiencing that seems to be amplified right now because it holds all of these trillions of brand new source particles that are waiting, that are here and present for this new creation. So a lot of people are getting stimulated, like there's a birth coming, right? There's a new creation in the field. That and that infinite possibility there too, that's so held by a mother energy. Just the possibility of a new child, a new birth, holding that field for everyone to step forward and birth a new version of self and a new version of consciousness, a new experience. It's very, very strong. So when we get lit up like that, we're literally using the source particles in cosmic mother plasma respond, right, to our attention. And you can see that getting stronger too, especially people who do decrees or out loud work with their voice to create reality. You can see the strength in that practice now calling forth pure cosmic mother plasma, and the next thing you know, it's cosmic, you say cosmic mother out loud, or you wear cosmic mother blue, and all of a sudden it's responding to our awareness stronger than we've ever experienced. So
Yeah.
the response from the field is very, very fast. But I feel like that embrace of Cosmic Mother is probably stronger uh, during the first 2 weeks of sacred season before you go into Cosmic Christ with the solstice, because the 12/12 technically is the anniversary of Gaia's ascension back on the 12/12/12, where she fully set forth that field for us to move into. So it's a lot of Gaia energy too there, supporting us in that process, which is why the guidance to step outside, to be with her, to connect with the crystalline core is profound. I had a very profound experience even just yesterday, tapping in with her, right? And she literally says everything else, all the static and the thought forms and everything, she's like, that is of no consequence, beloved. Just she's like, look at the truth, right? Look at the reality. Look at where we're going, because it's not a down the line, down the line, down the line, eventually kind of thing anymore. It's very present. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. So,
Yeah, well, this really brings me and ties up part of the conversation that we've had during the call. Again, it's 9-year endings, completions going into this new season again with this 7 weeks of the sacred season, and from the year of a snake into a fire horse, being very intentional and present with 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 not just our actions, but our thoughts and our words. Again, that's our capacity to weave and recognize what we're weaving almost immediately with the field is profound right now.
mm,
And the old way of creating and waiting is something that we're adjusting into a new reality. We're actually creating and it's happening. We're just expecting something in the future because we've been maybe so entrained in that it's, part of what we may be feeling is a little disjointed or challenging right now is just catching up with the truth of how in the present moment and mm, it was always happening that way. We're just recognizing it differently, how we're creating in the moment, in the moment, in the moment. And it's not about waiting for the future trajectory. It's being that and recognizing that now.
Yeah, and also having the freedom to create it right now.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, this revelation during sacred season, revelation is powerful and wow, it can really kick you in the solar plexus
Mhm.
if you're like, oh, and perhaps we should remind everyone too that perhaps your versions of the truth that that you've had running for a while might expand into something else. I would never say your version of the truth is wrong. It's just because source expresses in a whole bunch of different ways. But I would stay open to the brutal process of show me everything. And even if things are blatantly obvious that change is afoot or that your trajectory may be different than what you thought it was, or it kind of put up or shut up time
Mhm.
for a lot of dreams because um, dreams of what you would like to create. I mean, 2026 is a huge focus on creation dynamics, creativity itself, um, a little disentanglement from the inorganic creation that seems to be kind of gaining strength at a certain level. But like the organic thing is just so unstoppable, it kind of doesn't matter. It's going to seem like things are getting weird, but again, it's just destruction of an old way and into the new way. It's up to you what you want to play with in your journey, but play, right?
Right.
It's not, I'm going to wait until it. Yeah, especially I have to say in the Lightworker Collective, people waiting for the right moment
Hmm.
or waiting for the right service or, oh my gosh, everything's so saturated, I can't possibly step forward. How would I do that? Make huge leaps of faith and
Hmm.
jumps into grounded things, lifestyle changes in your practices, new alliances and partnerships, and stop thinking that it's like this long, trajectory or whatever. Everything happens very quickly now. So jump in and witness what doesn't have energy any longer. We're always saying that, but it gets like real. It gets very real through sacred season. And it's only 7 weeks. We all know how quickly 2025 went.
Oh my
And
God.
2025, I feel like a lot of people too. I was talking to a sister friend this morning, and I was like, wow, I just feel like a lot of people on the path that got kind of beat up from 2025 being such a inner revelation and energetic change and purging and all this stuff that everyone was going through in 2025 that just dropped with the October shift or like just gone. Oh, we're over it. It's gone. So I feel like everyone has to check in with themselves and make sure that all the habits you created to make yourself more comfortable, let's say since 2020 forward, all the things that you were like, no, I just need to be comfortable and comfort and grace and grace and grace and everything.
Mhm.
Um, and it won't serve. it
Mm,
will serve. I feel that in my own journey too. Like, no, everything's wonderful because it's so comfortable, because everything's going so well. La la la, the flow and everything.
mhm,
But there's all this energy coming in for a brand new way of creating. And it does take your conscious participation, hours of your day, implementation of new habits and changes that take up linear time. You can't go, I'll start after sacred season. I'm just going to meditate for 7 weeks. Will
mm,
not work.
mhm,
This is fertile soil. You got to like dig in and plant now and not plant for March, like now,
mhm.
now. Do whatever version of your new creation, like start making those micro movements now because ooh, it's powerful, it's beautiful, and I'm not putting any 2026 predictions on this thing because again, 0 point is clean.
Mm,
It's not weighed down or influenced by lower consciousness once you've turned on the connection to the I am presence, to that
mm.
higher thing. It's a very different state of consciousness that all of us have been trying to describe, but it does take space, linear time, focus, so that you can actually change your whole nervous system, change your fields, use different parts of your DNA, all the things that we've been working on to assemble, creations in a different way. Mm, yeah.
It's I am so appreciating the way that you're sharing this and what it's reminding me in the field again is different trajectories are just kind of not landing. But I understand they're not landing for a particular reason. Some of them are old trajectories, some of them things that are revealing, and all it takes is my breath into it, my choice into moving consciously into the particular direction, and things will
Yeah,
start having a relationship with me, right?
right. And John, I can feel it. Like it's so present in your field. Like everything's showing you like, hey
Mhm.
brother, you're not looking at, you're looking here. And it
Mhm.
wants to show you something like maybe you haven't even considered or considered like 20 years ago that where you thought like this was going to go or what you wanted to do. And
Mhm.
it's a little tough when you're like, maybe I just have to stop some things,
Yeah.
right? And just go, wait a minute. Obviously there's no energy around, this thing or that creation or staying there, staying put, really good sign just to be kind of, hey, you're leaving. Right? Like what you're going through personally. It's like, okay, okay.
Mhm.
Right. And I've always felt like when the universe is giving me that feedback, that I'm like, wow, I'm just on the precipice of really opening up my journey. You won't be able to step back anymore, John. It's just too uncomfortable. You will
Mhm.
just eat yourself alive.
Oh,
You'll just
suffocate without
yeah.
question. Yeah.
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 And there's also like that question of why aren't I doing the highest thing now?
Hmm.
Why there's that, right? In the field, I feel for my own journey as well as your personal journey. It's just like, why am I throwing that down the line? When conditions or this is complete or that's complete or whatever, like I had a lot of that thrown at me just in the last 3 days even. It's like,
Hmm.
oh, honey, it's not after this or completing one more or whatever, it's now.
Hmm.
You're just like, oh my gosh, and it doesn't care if you're ready.
It's like here I am. So this
Yeah.
brings me to the question, how do we be in those high trajectories but prepare for them at the same time? Because we're also acclimating to these higher vibrational outputs and what and how we're have relationship with it and our capacity to harmonize with it.
Yeah, you know how a typical sacred season, you would get to this time of the year and you know
Hmm.
the energies are going to be there. And you're like, well, we'll see what happens, and then I'll integrate it as it comes along. Now it's like fire hose, right? It's just there's so much there. And
Mhm.
it's not like energy, oh my gosh, I'm so stimulated. Personally, I am. But it's not just that of like, oh, I've got to use this energy in this now for what I'm working on with, me and my projects or whatever. It's very different. It's very different this time. It's active. Again, that active thing of every single day, even if you're feeling overwhelmed, if your body's feeling overwhelmed, you're going to have to make some changes to
Mhm.
support how your body interprets the energies today, right? Whatever that is for you. You're going to have to stop pushing pushing things down the line because that in itself is an old way of being. Uh, there's like an immediacy, an urgency to this energy, just because, again, those source electrons are so pure, but they're also saying, yes, so it is to your subconscious, to your commands, to your feelings, to what you do. They're going, you got it, you got it, you got it, you got it. Well, when the energy changes and all of a sudden you've got completion, right? And the energy that wants to continue a situation or whatever is getting shut down. And the source particles are saying yes and to the higher thing because you've made a choice to embrace embodiment, to actually go into that higher state of consciousness. It's saying you're asking for it, so it is, which means you have to change. So the simple way, if you're feeling overwhelmed or maybe you're not pursuing like a mastery trajectory and you're just feeling it, the simplest way is to create something different every day, ground something, right? Walk a different path, do a different movement, paint something, write something, what make time. Don't go to bed at the same hour, go earlier, shut off your appliances, whatever it is that is different, but also encourages the things that you're finding revealed in your heart when you're spending an hour out in nature away from your devices where you can really listen. And if you're not hearing anything, just keep showing up. Just keep showing up. You need to show your higher levels. I will keep showing up. I will keep, it's like the unity meditations or whatever. You show up every week. Wow. This is interesting. Just different things happen if you keep showing up. And it's the same with practices that may feel outdated
Yeah.
or repetitive, right? You've got to mix it up a little bit, maybe mix up the times that you do something, like if you say time is an illusion or it's a linear construct, then you've got to learn how to play with it, right?
Mhm.
It's very easy to manipulate time. You just have to be in it. You got to be working from 0 point out instead of letting all these external things or thought forms or subconscious uh, desires to or patterns to influence the particles that are creating your reality, right? You really got to work from the heart out. So I would take it day-to-day action. Do three things. Don't make it one. That's too easy. It's not time for
Mhm.
like kicking back, ease and grace. It's like there's a little bit of, we're jumping again. There's another acceleration in progress. So that's a good preparation. And if you do that, we've got 2 weeks until sacred season. You do that now, then all
Mhm.
right, now I've opened the flow. I'm in a new pattern. I'm in a new way of walking through my day. I've mixed it up enough that my field is now open and pliable for new energies. I'm requesting cosmic support from Cosmic Mother if that's what feels closest to you. If I want to birth something new, Mother, come close. Enfold me in your grace as much ease and grace as possible, but also show me the way.
Mm,
Poof, right? Heavenly Father, shoot that energy right out of 0 point and show me what's going on. I'm going to keep my hands off the wheel because I want
mm,
to be, I don't want to, mastery is not about control, right? It's about
mm,
embodiment. So, you don't want to have too tight of a grip on the wheel and I want this and everything because sometimes when we want things and then our consciousness levels up, you don't even realize like that you can't walk into the next thing because you're too obsessed or addicted to, again, the comfort of that creation, right? It's like, well, it makes me feel safe because I know what I'm doing here. I,
right.
I know how to do this. So, one more year. Whoa, forget it. It's over.
Hmm.
I love that it's over too, because all of us are like, yeah, what comes next? Shh, 0 point.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, of all the energies that have been coming in, and again, we've been saturated with solar flares and spikes, and
Mm.
for many of us, that called us into stillness, into more resting, into honoring the body, and I kept hearing it's like enjoy this time for us because you're gonna be in movement very quickly, and things are gonna be happening fast. So enjoy it while it's here. Know that your body is tuning and catching up. Honor the sacred rest. And it's preparing you because the gates are going to open and it's time. It's time to go create boots on the ground, be to take chances, but not really taking chances, really listening to the truth and taking chance in the matter that's okay, maybe out of your comfort zone, but it's really stepping into more of your mastery.
And have a sense of humor about it.
Yes, please. More play and
Lightness.
joy about it. Yes.
You make a huge leap or a huge swing and it strikes out. All right, next.
Yeah.
Like move on.
Mhm.
Don't like, what did I do wrong? What ruminating, whatever. Like let it go. Let it go.
Mhm.
It's all an
Yeah.
illusion anyway. Just like learn the completion energies have taught us to drop things.
Mm.
And even though on a personal level, like sometimes it can be our this is another good point to make, new creation. Sometimes our creations as they exist now are really kind of tied to expectations of the people around us. And especially during holiday season where there's the expectation of showing up in a certain way, or we always do this, or oh my gosh, I have to, don't tolerate your loved ones and your family in the holiday season. Celebrate it, right? Because this may be your last hurrah in this state of beingness where you're capable of being the light beam at the gathering because we don't know what's coming over the next couple of years. Things might accelerate and change, and then maybe we can't be together, and maybe things change, or maybe there's judgment, or whatever. Or you're in a different state of consciousness, or you decide, I'm not going to do the same thing. Now I'm going with my friends somewhere else, Just really enjoy it if if you are getting together with friends and family and in a traditional way. You
Mm.
can appreciate the tradition and also like inject some new things into it at the same time. But don't, be very aware of the power of your consciousness taking energy into a gathering or into an event or as simple as your holiday cards. Like don't just do it because it's an obligation, like really enjoy it, enjoy the experience of it because it's really beautiful,
It really is.
what we have experienced, and we know it's about to change, so you're like, okay, that was fun, it
Mhm.
still is fun, right?
Yes. Yes. And it's
Mm.
evolving. And again, I love that we're bringing obligation, expectation, and intention and understanding within ourselves the truth of those particular points of creation and consciousness and what we're putting into the alchemy of our creation. It's profound. And the more that we become aware of that, and allow it to feel it in our bodies and allow the refinement of the truth to guide us, we're really setting ourselves free on a different course. We have to. We're flowing in that energy again. These completion cycles are they're so plainly obvious.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
And
really are.
also, just to kind of button up sacred season, let's say you have a whole lot of busyness going
Mm,
on during sacred season. You're like, oh my goodness, Sandra, I've got so much to do or whatever.
mhm.
That's on you. Saying yes to things. So it is. But if you wanted to like narrow it down to like the cosmic gateway period, the 17th through January 3rd, make sure even if you're not able to disconnect or, again, if you can spend an hour out of each day in complete, as close as you can get to 0 point
Mm,
awareness and just being like you'll actually welcome in what's present in the field. You'll welcome in that rebirth, resurrection, revelation energy. And then however it is that you receive your insights, if you want to write them down, paint them, draw them, whatever, I would definitely light ground them afterward. But if you're not capable of giving yourself some space or stepping away from company or whatever, at least narrow it down to an hour a day. And definitely on solstice itself, which is Sunday, December 21st, it's about 7 a.m. Pacific time. That's the peak globally, the peak hour. So we're all going to tap in during that hour. There's a special Sunday Unity meditation. But if you're looking for like that 0 point juice, um, that's it. So
mm.
clear your calendar as much as you can. Pay attention. Write it down. Write it down right now. December 21st, 7 a.m. Make sure that
Mhm.
you're tapping in so that you can really feel the precision, the refinement of that energy, and the that truth of, part of the revelation is it's it's like gathering. It's like gathering every heart that's close enough and going, okay, come up here. It's really interesting what's happening with that gateway. So just be as focused as possible, beloveds. But yeah, at the moment, tighten it up, few days,
Mhm.
and then definitely on solstice, pay attention.
Beautiful. Let's get into your special offer, Sandra, because again, you're
Oh,
really guiding people into their mastery in this, and y'all are feeling some of it, and a lot of y'all already are familiar with the energies in the container that Sandra holds.
yeah.
If you're not, I cannot recommend going deeper with Sandra enough.
Mm.
But there's an amazing and beautiful opportunity to really go into your crystalline DNA mastery and to level up with this particular special offer. And Sandra, if you would describe to everybody what they're going to benefit from as they navigate what you're sharing here.
Yeah, if you felt a little lost or you haven't like fully embraced a mastery path, you got to get your foundation
Mm,
set. Right? And we're talking about a mastery foundation, not the foundation of your ascension process. We're way past that by the time we get to crystalline DNA mastery. But what I did is I took two of the, let's call them vital foundational mastery courses, which on their own are like $444, and we put them both together for 144.
that's
So it's like
amazing. Wow.
$888 worth of courses for 144. But what it's doing is because these two work together. So you've got crystalline DNA that teaches you everything about what the heck is going on in my body. How do I project my consciousness into these realms to begin with? And how do I get it to stop doing one thing and do another and activate everything that I have going on? And how do I do that at the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual levels? So that gives you that piece of the puzzle. And then level up is taking you into creator state consciousness, which is like the launch pad for going into shifting out of being an external informed being and into a source informed consciousness. So when we say level up to the creator state is that state of consciousness where you are consistently connected to creator energies, source energies, a lot of alignment, a lot of practices, but the two of them together, incredible, right? Like if you
Mm,
felt lost, I don't really know what I'm doing, what are they talking about or whatever, um, you jump on it. You get a whole
mm,
year of access to that. And there's multiple modules. Every module has videos and
mm,
guidebooks and process checks and a guided meditation. Like you get a lot in my courses, but we've
mm,
bundled them to kind of get people out of old mode and into the new mode. Like this is how it works, and if you practice with that, you'll actually have the experience that all of these people who are now connected to I am presence and all the things that we've been talking about. Um, you'll feel it. You'll actually. It's all about liberating the soul to express in a different way.
mm,
You know, if you're looking to escape through ascension or transcend all of this and disappear, I am not the teacher for you. This is about going into a reality and actually changing it from the inside out. You know, so it's a true mastery path. Hmm.
mm. It's this is profound. And again, what you're offering here, and it's again, I can't think of a better guide for this, y'all, than Sandra here. Sandra, what you also are offering here, there's in item two, you talk about embracing unity consciousness for leveling up. I'd love to hear your awareness of what unity consciousness actually is. And again, we can talk about embracing it, we can talk about it as a concept, but
Mhm.
what does that really entail for me and require of me as an individual? What am I gifting and serving from that? And also, what am I receiving in the circuitry
Right.
of 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 that energy?
Yeah. Well, when we talk about unity consciousness, crystalline consciousness, Christ consciousness, universal consciousness, 0 point consciousness. They all mean the same thing.
Mm,
Now, it's not about getting assimilated into the Borg. You know, you're not like all becoming the same thing. It's unique and unified. But Christ consciousness or unity consciousness is a state, both a state of beingness and also a code, Christ code, that exists within divine human DNA. So when we talk about divine humans ascending, that's what we're talking about, going in and actually tapping into something that exists within all divine humans that are going to experience that, but actually tapping into that. And then unity consciousness itself, once you get all the DNA and the fields and the heart coherence and everything that we've been talking about and working on together, activated, and by activation, I mean actively flowing in your field, actively part of your experience. Once that activation, because activation is not a moment, it's an actual process,
mm,
but once that activation reaches a certain level, you start feeling, witnessing realities the way Source does. And it's interesting. You know, Yeshua was always like, just focus on the Father, focus on, God source. Everything comes from there. When you start feeling the truth of that, when the truth of source, love, light, intelligence, that is unity consciousness. Now, focusing on that as an individual, beautiful, you're a guru, you're ascended master, la di da, right? Something new happening now. Many millions of people are going into unity consciousness as one together in order to completely transform the realities of a planetary consciousness that's going through an ascension process. So that's beautiful. So it's both planetary as well as human, collective, as well as galactic as well as universal. It's just this pure reflection of this Christed state, this unity consciousness state that allows access to pure love, light, intelligence, to source itself. And when you practice with that as one in groups, it's been growing stronger and stronger and stronger where there's you start feeling that presence of love, light, intelligence all the time. You start feeling not the lower emotions, thought forms of your brothers and sisters. You start feeling the the love presence, the unified thing. You know, they always say there's only one of us here. When you start feeling like source creating everything around you, source in love, light, intelligence in everything that's happening, good, bad, positive, negative, all that duality goes away in unity, consciousness, and all the steps to get there, the Trinity, the unification through 0 point, the unity in the ascension column, the unification of the fields, everything that we work on in a mastery process reveals more and more and more capabilities that perhaps we have forgotten, but not just capabilities or skills from the past, but the very present, very now accessibility of a way of creating together that is pure love, light, intelligence. And it kind of goes on autopilot. It's literally self-corrects realities into alignment again. And that's the
Mm,
coolest thing because all this work that we're always doing on ourselves or working on correcting things or whatever, all of a sudden, especially with the presence unification at that level and 0 point level, it's you just kind of step back and watch source work through you, which is
mm,
what all the miraculous things were, tales were about. But it's so much more now that it's millions of people, billions of people eventually going into that state at the same time.
mm,
So that to me, like the Christed state, the unity consciousness state, it's a presence of source, love, light, intelligence that penetrates every single particle of creation and waveform and everything, ever present, eternal, infinitely expanding, infinite love, infinite light, infinite sound, infinite possibilities, all of that. And you feel it's at advanced states of mastery, when you get into presence level, it's quite overwhelming because you're feeling everything all at the same time, right? It's beautiful, but there's definitely liberation, freedom, empowerment in being able to command that state of presence at will,
mm,
being able to keep the heart flowing from, again, that magnetic changing. So the heart is flowing from 0 point outward. Your fields change, realm shifting happens, transcendence happens. It's quite exciting.
It's extremely exciting. Y'all, going back to the special offer again, these master classes, again, valued at over $888 for $144. And again, it's even if you believe that you're familiar with some of these tools and the vernacular and have grounded it in, there's more that's being revealed. There's an activation that's lighting up even more within the field of activation. And again, I would encourage and invite all of y'all on the call um, to be open to receiving even more.
And it's good content to have on hand,
Hmm.
where you're like, I just want to listen and feel the path
Hmm.
or that vibration. Sometimes that can be comforting rather than going for stuff that just kind of maybe there's comfort in visiting things just to kind of reinforce what's happening in your body. Little
Well,
reminders. Little
a re-
reminders are good, right?
reminders are great, but but using you as a reflection, I was going to ask you this question later, but I'm going to get into part of it now because what I am experiencing in you, Sandra, and I've known you for quite a few years, um, always just masterful and precise and very articulate and refined, and you deliver with so much care and intentionality and love. And now I'm feeling even more heart presence. Like there's a relaxation that's gone even deeper, peacefulness, an even wider heart, if that was even possible.
Mm.
Like an innocence power that's flowing through you. And not that I felt you really working hard before, but I feel like it's quite effortless for you, even in the sharing and what's coming through. It's like you don't have to work hard for it in the same way, perhaps, that we did and do heavy lifting that we did in the past.
That's the one thing I hear from people who are going through the presence process, the I am presence embodiment is, oh my goodness, everything is being taken care of. Oh
Mhm.
my goodness, I don't even have to think about connecting to presence. It's just there. And oh my gosh, it's changing me. Uh, there's a lot of, I guess in the beginning, it's been about 3 years. So I feel like I'm integrating um, well. Well, I just received guidance this morning that I'm going to have 5 lifestyle changes to
Wow. Okay.
step into my next level. I'm like, I'm game, because it's exciting. It's very exciting to see your realities again, that autocorrect thing. Wow,
Mm,
everything's being taken care of. Wow, I directed a
mm,
fractal of a thought toward this could be more better, more expansive, different, and whew, so it is. It just everything gets taken care of. So
mm,
it's interesting, and then you and then you kind of watch yourself because you realize there is a lot of energy around everything that you say, everything that you do. Wow. When I think about like mastery paths of the past being so brutal,
mhm,
it's just people just going crazy, like losing their minds, going through a mastery path. I'm talking about thousands of years ago, not this year. Just people really losing it. And I'm like, wow, all the factors, there's really a convergence of energies coming in to say you're done with one thing, let's go into the next thing. But there's so much more ease and grace if we'll just allow this to to show us the way, just a lot of adjustments, a lot of self-correcting before it went on autocorrect,
mhm,
which can be brutal. You're like, okay, and then you have to take action on all of it, right? So
mhm.
yeah, thank you for recognizing that too, because
Oh,
so
it's
often we
easy with
feel
me.
completely different. You're like, is anyone noticing?
No, it's quite beautiful and obvious, and you're definitely radiating it. And again, you're an embodied teacher. You're an embodied teacher, and that's why I have so much respect for you and pause and listen and take in, uh, because that's who I'm inspired to learn from, obviously. That's what touches my heart, and encourages me. Is like, okay, someone else is walking that path, and it's
Mhm.
let me tune in into the divinity within them and listen and listen because we all carry that spark of light in different ways. And when we stop, tune in rather than have expectations or judge or shut down or whatever it is, and just really be with the essence of what is communicating in that stillness before the expectation or the stimulus. There's so much that comes through.
Indeed, indeed. And especially with transcendence in the field now. Uh,
Mhm.
wow. There's so many people are going to have interesting.
Interesting is a good word.
Phases of mastery stepping in. We're talking about like radiance transference and like just people capable of like holding
Mhm.
love light intelligence so strongly that an eye gaze is extremely expansive just to the people around you, your field, everything just really changing. A lot to do with magnetics, but that's also a reflection of what Gaia's going through too, with a lot of magnetic changes and responsiveness to cosmic light and I really feel it's coming out of this age of platitudes and rhetoric and the same story. I really feel like communication itself will have to change, or people are going to feel um, that there's looping going on with a lot of conversations, and I'm like, ooh, let's walk away from the loops.
Oh yeah.
Because there's definitely something to be said for explaining things over and over and over again to different groups of people. But as a teacher too, there's there's a necessity to embrace a new way of communicating for myself.
Mhm.
What I talk about, what I don't talk about. Um, yeah, it's coming too.
That's
Because
powerful.
this is an ever expanding thing. Very challenging and wonderful.
It's challenging and wonderful. And I want to get back into something that you mentioned earlier, which we want to add this energy into everything, y'all. And before I get into that, y'all, the special offer, don't forget to click on the special offer button, $144,
Mhm.
typically $188. Go deeper with Sandra. It is there for you. And you're welcome from beyond the ordinary, by the way. It's amazing what's coming through.
Only
Um,
do this with John. Only with John.
Sandra, it's thank you. Thank you. Sandra, let's finish today's call with joy, and and igniting the field. And again, we're talking about these trajectories and the shifting and get out of comfort and but excitements and adventure also, but also the joy and connection. And I also feel as part of the joy is that we're also matching up to other people who are walking their path of mastery. And so we're not doing our creations alone. The supports, the validation, not that we need it, but the recognition is always nice. The
Mhm.
similarities of the or the leveling up on the paths to hold the field steady are they're there. That they're
Yeah.
getting more pronounced. It's not just us on an individual solo journey trying to hold it all together. It's there's so much beauty that's here and also that's being ignited in the horizon.
Yeah. And it's fun when you so I can peer into the Christ field and kind of see, all right, who's in the field?
Yes.
And all of a sudden, there was like legions of people that were in the field. Didn't really know why they were there, why they leveled up. Not really doing anything, not very active, maybe just not really fully conscious yet of that. But that just happened like since the end of October. I was like,
Mm.
whoa, where are all these souls coming from? Like all of a sudden, and maybe it's the quantum effect, right? Of lifting willing hearts that we've been holding in the Christ field. I was like, oh, thank you for showing me that that's happening. But you make a very valid point, John. Unity consciousness is as unity consciousness does. So if you're pacing the floor, figuring out your new creation, open the door, open the gateway, involve others. Because for a while it's been, well, I have to be in service, serving others, serving others, serving others, and everything. Now you're coming into a new creation that is collective. And if you're struggling with, I don't know what I'm going to create next or whatever, you're still like in this bubble, right? That lower field that keeps you that seemingly separated from others. Use a sacred season wisely to open up to the joy and celebration that's happening in the Christ field right now, because we all know it and we all feel it. And there's been all these messages, and all the revelation is here, and the new creation is here, and it's arriving, and it's going to happen during sacred season, and all of this energy around that. but you have to be like openly participating in that joy. Decorate your house, create something, invite people over, big pies, whatever it is that like holds some joy of the season with you, but definitely include the collective. You are not alone and trying to figure things out, and you have to go into unity consciousness in order to participate in Christ consciousness. That's the way it works, right? It's got to be everybody. You got to be out there walking around and sharing and being a little, joy bubble for everybody else. You can really be that beam, even if that's all you do, right? It's just, well, I don't really know what I'm going to create. Well, just walk around and be the presence. Be there
Mm,
for people. There's plenty of opportunities. But as John said, there's joy, there's celebration, a lot of liberation, freedom
mm.
from your own lower whatever in the field during sacred season. So let's do this. We got this. Let's do
I
it. But it
totally
has to
get
be
this.
active and joyful. So, and don't like do external things to make yourself happy or whatever. It's not that. It's coming from, hey, we're all here. Hey, it's a unified thing. And it comes from, again, the heart. 0 point is trying to inform your fields to be a wide open door for new creation, for love, light, intelligence. So just keep focusing on that joy. Go decorate a tree and meditate under it, whatever you have to do.
Mm,
It's just bring that in, make that part of your practice, just so you align with the frequency of what's coming in.
mm. Beautiful. Well, as we wind up today's call, Sandra, and I feel so just beautifully just satisfied and full from today's call with you and being in this energy. Um, and a personal question, and y'all, we'll run the replay the rest of the weekend, all through the Thanksgiving holiday here.
Yay.
Um, and of course, the special offer with Sandra, definitely go deep. You may want to spend the solstice with Sandra also in unity prayer as well. Um, what are you excited about for the new year?
Everything.
I love that. Good answer.
Okay. It's like it kind of feels like stupid excited, honestly, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, there's so much new. Uh, I'm excited about changing a lot of
Mm,
things that have been well, certainly, the whole message for lifestyle changes is like, okay, like, and making it as fun as possible. It's not a chore. But I'm excited about a new space.
wow.
I know it's
Wow.
been presenting for a while, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like for those of you who have known me all these years, living out in the woods, living in temporary housing, part of the, back and forth on the whole thing, it's all ending. And I have no idea where I'm going, so don't even ask me. Like, and
Well, I am going to hold the joy with you for you.
thank you. And
Absolutely.
I'm gonna hold joy for your next new space too, mister.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I received that. Y'all, we both will accept your joy.
Yeah.
I'll speak for Sandra as well as for myself. How amazing. Yeah, and I hold it for all of y'all here. What's joyful? What can we get excited about? How can we share our hearts from that excitement that's already here as we feel into it? So we don't have to wait to share it until the manifestation of it and the comfort of it lands. It's like it's alive. It is alive.
Hmm. Hmm.
So beautiful.
Yeah. I'm gonna learn how to hold it, pull energy around it, drop all the hows. Oh my gosh, the word shh, 0 point, right out of 0 point. This one's happening
Mm,
straight out of 0 point. It's so
nice.
wonderful. Very excited. Thanks.
So stable in that. Sandra, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Ah, I'm so grateful.
So good to connect with you, brother. I just love it. Oh,
Thank
happy holidays, happy sacred season to everybody. Mwah.
you. Happy holidays, happy sacred season, everybody. Love you guys. Look forward to seeing you all on the next call. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody around the world. Blessings.